Good morning, and I need you to not touch anything in your kitchen yet. Not your coffee, not your phone, nothing. Because a 67-year-old patient of mine, a woman named Margaret, walked into my office 4 months ago, barely able to stay awake past 2 in the afternoon. Her kidneys were declining, her inflammation markers were through the roof, and her joints hurt so badly she had stopped walking her dog. 12 weeks later, her blood work looked like it belonged to a different person. Her kidney filtration had improved. Her inflammatory markers had dropped significantly. And she told me, with tears in her eyes, "I have my mornings back." She didn't take a new drug. She didn't start an expensive protocol. She changed one single thing about the first 5 minutes of her day. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what she did, and more importantly, why it works at a level that will genuinely shock you, especially the part about what it does to cancer cells and your stem cells. That comes near the end, and trust me, that's the part that changes everything. I'm Dr. Adriana Markson, 20 years in clinical medicine, and I'm going to tell you right now what the ingredient is, because I'm not here to play games with you. It's lemon. Half a lemon squeezed into warm water first thing in the morning. Now, I know what just happened in your head. You almost clicked away. You thought, that's it? Lemon water? I've heard this before. But here's what I need you to understand. You have not heard what I'm about to explain. Because what happens inside your cells when you do this at the exact right time, in the exact right way, is something most doctors never talk about, and the science behind it is brand new. Stay with me for the next few minutes. What I'm about to walk you through will change the way you see your mornings forever. Here's something nobody thinks about. Right now, as you're watching this, if it's morning, your body has been running for 6 to 8 hours straight without a single drop of water. Your kidneys have been filtering your blood all night. Your liver has been processing toxins. Your lymphatic system has been dragging out dead cells and metabolic garbage. And all of that happened while you were dehydrated. So that first glass of water, that's not just a drink. That is the single most powerful biological reset your body gets every 24 hours. And almost everyone wastes it on coffee. But plain water is only half the story. What you put in that water and when you drink it, that's where everything changes. Let me show you what's happening inside your body between 2 and 6 a.m. Because once you see this, you'll never skip your morning glass again. While you sleep, your cortisol starts rising, preparing you to wake up. At the same time, your kidneys hit what researchers call the early morning filtration surge. This is when your body is working hardest to flush out uric acid, metabolic waste, and cellular debris from the entire previous day. Think of it like this. Your body's garbage trucks have been running all night. By morning, they're fully loaded and they need somewhere to dump. And the only way that works is if you give them the right conditions. Here's the problem. There are two things working against you at this exact moment. First, dehydration. That's obvious. Second, and this is the one that catches everyone off guard, acidity. While you sleep, your body's pH slides toward the acidic side. That's normal, but it accelerates two dangerous processes. Free radical damage spikes. And inflammatory signals, the ones linked to joint pain, brain fog, and yes, cancer, become significantly more aggressive. Now you're probably thinking, wait, lemon is acidic. How does adding acid help reduce acidity? This is where it gets fascinating. Lemon juice sits at about 2 to 3 on the pH scale outside your body. But the moment it enters your digestive system, something called alkaline ash metabolism kicks in. Your body breaks down the citric acid, metabolizes it completely, and what's left behind actually makes your blood and urine more alkaline. This isn't a theory. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin measured it directly. People who consistently drank lemon juice showed a meaningful rise in urinary pH. That means fewer kidney stones, better filtration, less crystallized waste sitting in your system. And this is where I want to tell you about my patient David. 72 years old, had been dealing with kidney stones every 8 to 10 months for years. Constant back pain, terrible sleep. I put him on this exact morning protocol. 14 months later, not a single stone. His nephrologist was genuinely surprised. Now, was it only the lemon water? I can't say that with certainty. But the science tells us exactly why it helps. Your kidneys filter about 200 liters of blood every day. After 60, they're already declining at roughly 1% per year. A 70-year-old might have 30% less kidney capacity than they had at 40. And here's the scary part. Most people have zero idea, because early kidney decline doesn't scream at you. It whispers. Constant tiredness, creeping blood pressure, foggy thinking, restless nights. Sound familiar? Those are the exact complaints I hear every single day. The citrate in lemon juice grabs onto calcium oxalate crystals in your urine and stops them from clumping into stones. The potassium citrate in lemons helps maintain the exact electrolyte balance your kidneys need. A 2014 study in the Journal of Urology confirmed it. Regular lemon juice consumption significantly reduced kidney stone recurrence. But kidney protection is just the beginning, because what lemon does to inflammation is where this story takes a dramatic turn. Chronic, low-grade inflammation. The scientific community now calls it inflammaging. It's the hidden engine behind nearly every disease of aging: arthritis, heart disease, cognitive decline, and cancer. And your morning window is the moment that determines whether that inflammation ramps up or calms down. Here's why. Lemon juice contains a flavonoid called hesperidin. Think of NF-kappa B, nuclear factor kappa B, as the master switch for your body's entire inflammatory system. When it's stuck on overdrive, your body floods with inflammatory chemicals: TNF-alpha, interleukin-6, interleukin-1 beta. These are the exact markers that show up elevated in arthritis, heart disease, neurodegeneration, and inside the environment where tumors grow. A 2016 study in the journal Nutrients showed that hesperidin significantly reduced these inflammatory markers in older adults. But here's the key most people miss. NF-kappa B runs on a circadian clock. It peaks in the early morning hours. Delivering hesperidin into your system at that exact moment, when the inflammatory pathway is running at full throttle, gives you the maximum suppressive effect. You're not just drinking lemon water. You're delivering a precisely timed anti-inflammatory compound at the one moment your body is most vulnerable to inflammation. This costs you a lemon and a cup of water. That's it. Now, the cancer connection. And I want to be extremely precise here because this matters. I am not telling you lemon water cures cancer. No credible doctor would ever say that. What I am telling you is that the research on specific compounds in lemon and how they interact with cancer cells is compelling enough that you need to hear it. 3 mechanisms, each one more surprising than the last. First, d-limonene. Found in the rind, it seeps into the juice too. In a phase 1 clinical trial at the University of Arizona, breast cancer patients who consumed d-limonene showed a 22% drop in cyclin D1, a protein that directly drives cancer cell replication. 22% from a compound found in lemon rind. Second, vitamin C. Cancer cells are addicted to glucose. That's the Warburg effect. Vitamin C competes with glucose for entry into cells through the same transporter proteins. It can selectively create oxidative stress inside cancer cells while leaving your healthy cells completely untouched. The National Cancer Institute is actively researching this pathway. Third, and this might be the most surprising, lemon's alkalizing byproducts disrupt the acidic shield that tumors build around themselves. Solid tumors deliberately create an acid zone to dissolve surrounding tissue and hide from your immune system. Anything that nudges your pH even slightly toward alkaline can chip away at that shield. This is active, cutting-edge cancer research. 3 mechanisms, 1 ingredient, already in your kitchen. But we're not done, because what I'm about to explain next is what made my patient Margaret cry in my office. Stem cells. Your body makes them your entire life. They're your internal repair crew, unspecialized cells that can become whatever your body needs to fix damaged tissue. The problem is that after 60, stem cell activity drops dramatically. By 70, your output might be a fraction of what it was at 30. That's why aging hits so hard. But here's what scientists have recently discovered, and this genuinely changes the game. Stem cells don't just slow down because of age. They slow down because of their environment. When oxidative stress is high, your stem cells go into hibernation. They stop repairing and just try to survive. But when oxidative stress drops, when the cellular environment is clean, hydrated, and properly mineralized, they wake back up. A 2019 study in Cell Stem Cell showed that fasting mimicking conditions, which is exactly what morning lemon water creates because you're already fasted and lemon adds virtually 0 calories, stimulate the release of growth factors tied to stem cell reactivation. And there's more. The citrate in lemon juice feeds directly into the Krebs cycle, your mitochondria's energy engine. Supplying citrate first thing in the morning before glucose from food arrives primes your mitochondria to run cleaner. Cleaner mitochondria produce fewer free radicals. Fewer free radicals means a friendlier environment for stem cells to activate. That's what happened with Margaret. Her body wasn't broken. Her stem cells weren't dead. They were just waiting for the right conditions. And a lemon and warm water every single morning was enough to start shifting those conditions. Here's the exact protocol. Every detail matters. 8 to 12 ounces of filtered water, warmed to body temperature, not hot. Half a fresh lemon, squeezed in. Organic if possible, to avoid pesticide residue on the peel. If you want, add a tiny pinch, 1/16 of a teaspoon, of sea salt or Himalayan pink salt for trace minerals. Sip it slowly over 5 minutes. Do not brush your teeth for at least 30 minutes after, because citric acid temporarily softens enamel. Brush before or just rinse with plain water. Do this every morning, not some mornings, every morning. Because every benefit we've discussed today, the kidney protection, the pH shift, the NF-kappa B suppression, the mitochondrial priming, the stem cell activation, these are all cumulative. Studies track these outcomes at 8, 12, and 16 weeks. You're building a new biochemical baseline for your body, day by day, glass by glass. Every morning, your body opens a window, a few minutes of metabolic receptivity, where your cells are primed and listening. You can fill that window with coffee on an empty stomach, pushing cortisol higher and inflammation deeper. Or you can fill it with this, a lemon, a glass of warm water, a message to every cell in your body that says, the environment is safe, it's clean, it's hydrated. Start your repairs. Wake up. Do what you were built to do. Margaret did it. David did it. Now you know exactly why it works. Tomorrow morning, your body will open that window again. The only question is what you'll fill it with. If you found this valuable, do me one favor. Share it with one person you love who's over 60. They deserve to know this too. And subscribe, because next week I'm going to show you the second morning habit that amplifies everything you just learned by a factor you won't believe.